India is hosting the meeting of foreign ministers of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or ASEAN, marking the 3 decades of the country's dialogue relationship and the 10th anniversary of the strategic partnership with the 10-nation group. India's External Affairs Minister, Dr. S. Jaishankar, is co-chairing the special ASEAN-India foreign ministers meeting with his Singapore counterpart, WION Balakrishnan. Foreign ministers of other ASEAN member states and the ASEAN Secretary-General will also attend the meeting, which falls in the year which has been dedicated to the ASEAN-India friendship. The Indian government said that the ASEAN-India strategic friendship or partnership stands on a strong foundation and that the grouping is central to India's Act East policy and its vision for a wider and expansive Indo-Pacific.
ASEAN has always stood tall as a beacon of regionalism, multilateralism and globalization. It has successfully carved out a niche for itself in the region and provided the foundation for the evolving strategic and economic architecture in the Indo-Pacific. ASEAN's role today is perhaps more important than ever before, given the geopolitical challenges and uncertainties that the world faces. India fully supports a strong, unified and prosperous ASEAN, one whose centrality in the Indo-Pacific is fully recognized. The strong convergence of the AOIP and the IPOI is a testimony to our shared vision for the region.
Foreign ministers of Brunei, Cambodia, Singapore, Indonesia and Thailand, amid others, have already landed in the country's capital, New Delhi. India's External Affairs Ministry spokesperson Arindam Bagchi welcomed the foreign dignitaries in a tweet. On the sidelines of the ASEAN Meet, India is also hosting the 12th edition of the Delhi Dialogue, which is a premier track 1.5 dialogue in the ASEAN-India calendar. The theme of the Delhi Dialogue is building bridges in the Indo-Pacific. ASEAN-India dialogue relations started with the establishment of the sectoral partnership in 1992, which graduated to a full dialogue partnership in December of 1995, the summit-level partnership in 2002, and a strategic partnership in 2012. And for more details, we are now being joined by our principal diplomatic correspondent Siddhant Sibal from New Delhi. Siddhant, as we know, India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar is co-chairing the special ASEAN-India foreign ministers meet. Tell us what's on the agenda and what can we expect?
Well, the key focus areas during the foreign ministers meet is on connectivity, people-to-people relationship, on how to deal with COVID crisis, Indo-Pacific, and last and perhaps one of the most important, something that has been talked about earlier today, is the impact on the food prices, supply chains because of the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Because remember, today when the opening statements were made by the Indian External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar and the co-chair, the Singaporean Foreign Minister, both talked about the impact. We saw the Singaporean Foreign Minister was, of course, very critical of the Russian invasion of Ukraine, saying that this impacts the rules-based order, while New Delhi, of course, sticking to its policy, did not criticize Russia, but talked about how developments in Ukraine have impacted the prices of food, fertilizers, and, of course, supply chains. But nonetheless, today is a moment of celebration for India and the ASEAN countries. 30 years, in a sense, have been celebrated in the past in terms of lot of engagement. But today, the foreign ministers come together, and by evening, we do expect some kind of announcement on how new priority areas can be found out, something that the EM pointed out in the morning as well. So it's a long day, but nonetheless, focus on many areas and key outcomes expected in the evening.
Right, Siddhant, thanks so much for all those updates. Thanks for joining us on WION at this hour. WION World is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.